Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us at this late hour. We're going to get into our rants and get into our closings. Of course, I'll have my thank yous. We had a lot of participation tonight, the kind of participation that I look forward to seeing and having with you guys every single week. We didn't get a lot of phone calls. That's fine. If you ever want to call us up during the live show, it's 804-402-2893. But the social media was hopping. I almost didn't get to all the comments because you guys held me down and held Steven down and held Millie down and held Dave in LA down earlier in the show. So without any further ado, we're going to go around the room, get to our rants, and get into our closings. We're going to start with our special guest joining us for the very first time. We got our new sister, Miss Millie. What you got there, girl?
Honestly, Marcus, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you to Steven. Thank you to Dave. And just thank you for inviting me here.
Definitely. You're definitely welcome anytime. You come to Legacy Internet Radio, not just this show, but if you come to Legacy Internet Radio, you automatically get to become our family. So if you ever want to rejoin us, feel free. A friend of Steven is a friend of mine. So if you actually like this dude and you want to hang out with him, then you all right with me. Is that all right with you?
That is fine with me.
I'm out to tell everybody I really am a nice guy.
Steven is a wonderful person. He's a very nice, sweet, honorable, great person.
Steven he very well might be one of the nicest, most misunderstood people I know.
I absolutely agree with that whole statement.
Yes.
Nicest and most misunderstood.
Yes, he is.
And unluckiest.
Yes. He's my brother, man. I love this dude. All right, Mr. LP, I don't know if you got a rant, but if you do, okay, well then the floor is yours, my brother.
All right.
Just remember that your show tomorrow's at 7, so as long as you can be finished before then. And every time I hear you laugh, it makes me think about who we lost this weekend. The late great Jeffrey Holder. Yeah, Jeffrey Holder we lost this weekend, and every time you laugh, I always think of him, and now he's an ancestor of ours now that we lost him over the weekend. And so, first of all, I want to offer my personal condolences to the family of Jeffrey Holder. If you don't know who that is, he did a lot of commercials in the 70s. You might remember, most of people our age would remember him from probably Boomerang. He was in Boomerang. But I just took over your rant, Steven. I can say that on mine. You go ahead and jump in here, man. I'm sorry.
No problem. I want to also throw a shout out prayers for B.B. King. He had to cancel a concert. He's not doing too well.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I want to shout out to Vicky and Olivia Ashby and Christina Hardison. Excuse me. We did a lot this past weekend for her group. Jesus, I got tongue-tied, but with Box Cutter Magazine, and we're doing a great event coming November 8th. Please check out my wall. You can go to bxcmagazine.com or Box Cutter on Facebook, and we got a variety of different things. It's a big event. We're trying to save a dwelling, which houses a lot of women throughout the state of Virginia and also parts of North Carolina. Where over 100 women that is lost funding for state and government cutbacks and maybe shut down. And we're trying to host a little concert, a little fashion show, a whole little bit of everything. We got media people from all around that's going to be there, including in Live and Radio and Sykes Talent Group. So please come on out there. Tickets are $35 for VIP. $20 for the regular seating. You can get it at the door. If you need something early, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Tomorrow's show is going to be about health and wellness. Always important about getting health. Those who know, I fight several health issues, and I try to keep going, but I want to always try to help educate everybody on that. One thing also on the computers, the previous segment, I forgot to tell you, if you have children or anybody else that log on your computer, make sure they do not use the admin account so they're not adding additional software and things like that. And if the computer is in your house, screw this whole about the kids don't whatever. If you paying the bill and for the internet or whatever, you should always have full admin control and monitoring software on your children's computer. You need help with that, please contact me in liveandradio@gmail.com. Also, I want to give a last shout out to a couple of hair salons that did a big service and always helped me out. One here in Richmond, Vanaz Hair Salon with Tahis Morris. They're out there on Staples Mill Road, VA-NAZ, and also Salon 403 with Miss Frances Armstrong, who does a lot of wonderful makeup. And if you need classes or anything like that, please check them out. She's always taught me a lot about faces and makeup and a variety of other things additional to the other stuff I do. And also last, if you're listening to the show, make sure I hope you have recorded Gotham and Scorpion, great shows.
Have Steppin with Marcus J. I could speak to Gotham. I haven't watched Scorpion, and I'm not going to. But Gotham
Understand me if you watch Scorpion.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
I'm sure it is. I watch so much TV. I got to be selective, and that's just not going to make the cut for me. But it looks like a great show. I'm not saying that I think it sucks or anything. It looks like, it looks like a great show, but I'm just not gonna watch it. But I tell you what, I did watch that I'm officially hooked. I was hooked the first 3 minutes of the show is Stalker. Oh man, that show is awesome, man. Yeah, that show is pretty awesome. So, and Flash starts tomorrow, and Arrow comes back on Wednesday. So for those of us, Steven and I, we can't agree on who's the best in the DC universe, but I think we can agree that while Gotham is a fabulous show, has the potential to be better than Smallville, I think the Flash could probably potentially be better than.
I don't like the outfit.
I actually agree with you.
The outfit's too dark. They trying to make everything dark.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the outfit is not bright.
If you stuck on that outfit, then you missing the whole.
I know that, but I'm just saying, just a little, that's all I'm saying. That's just a little bit. I'm not that guy that says everything got to be the same. Don't get mistaken me. But I'm like, don't stray so far from the canon. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind the darker, the more maroon uniform as opposed to the bright red. I can't stand red. Red is, it reminds me of the Boston Red Sox. Every time I think about red, I just,
What's wrong with the Red Sox?
Hey, we're Yankee fans up in
Unless I got
here.
a red cup with something, intoxicating in it, then I'm not feeling red. All right, ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. It's time for me to kind of get into my thank yous and to the closing here. First off, I want to thank my brother K-Dub for listening. Thank you to Miss Dub for listening. Thank you to Jackie in Philly. She was listening the whole night, holding us down. We appreciate that. Tiffany in Chicago checked in. Ratia checked in. Michelle K checked in. Hakeem checked in Jersey. And my sister Melanie in Chicago checked in. Special thanks to my co-host S.Y. Butler. Couldn't be with us tonight, but she was with us in spirit and in social media. She was here tonight. Special thank you to our new sister Millie for joining us for the very first time here on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. I believe you've done it live radio, but not this particular show. So we appreciate you being here. Thank you to my co-host for the night, Mr. LP Steven Sykes. Thank you for being here and basically being the backbone of Legacy Internet Radio. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all that you do. And extra special thank you goes to our brother Dave in L.A. For helping us and co-hosting that first segment with us here as we talked about the Ebola virus. It's some real stuff, and he gave us a lot of information, a lot of good commentary. And we had a great discussion around it. Legacy Internet Radio, our lineup, Half Steppin' with Marcus J. every single Monday from 7 until it's supposed to be 9:30, y'all, but it's going to be 10 o'clock in 5 minutes. And trust me, I'm going to get us out of here quick because I don't have much in my rant. Tuesdays in Lyman Radio, you heard him here all night, Mr. LP, the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P every single Wednesday, the hottest, funniest comedy team on internet radio. All Throttle Radio, the biker show, every single Thursday from 7 to 9. We do replays on Friday night. So any talk show that you hear on Legacy Internet Radio, you could potentially hear replayed right there on Friday nights. And then on Saturdays, usually around midday, we start playing music. Did they just play that music only show? Ain't no telling what you might hear. I might play rock music. I might play reggae music. I might play Frank Sinatra. It depends on how I feel. Hopefully you feeling what I'm feeling. And then at 3 p.m. every Saturday, Conversations from Your Sisters with SY and Lisa P. They have a live show every other week, and we play last week's replay next week, if that makes sense. So we get to hear those sisters every single Saturday. The co-host of this show and the co-host of the Wednesday show do a show with each other together, and so we appreciate them. And then, of course, rounding out the Saturday schedule, we got Deep House Sessions with DJ Renee Melendez every 7 to 9. House music. Get your baby powder ready because you're going to sweat. And then the final show of the week, Bob Marley and the Family Reggae Mix, starting at 9 p.m. until we play Bob Marley and the Family Reggae music all night on Saturday starting at 9. So that is the Legacy Internet Radio lineup. We appreciate everybody who has listened to us tonight live on TuneIn. We encourage you to check out our website, Legacy Internet Radio, to get more information on all of our shows. Of course, check out our fan page on Facebook, Legacy Internet Radio. We do a lot of discussion throughout the week. We do a lot of updates on what we're doing and what's going on with us. We encourage you guys to post things there, things for discussion. We may even bring them up on our shows. We look forward to communicating with our listeners there. And I want to thank Live Action Captions and Free Spirit Enterprises. Those are our sponsors. If it wasn't for our sponsors and it wasn't for our listeners, we couldn't do what it is that we do here at Legacy Internet Radio. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. Basically, I'm going to be brief. There's been a lot of talk about the Secret Service and what's going on with those folks, and it's normally a topic that we would spend some time on, but it's just we just didn't really get to it tonight. We had other stuff that we wanted to get to, and we didn't want to keep everything so serious. So that was one thing that I made a point of not really getting into, and I figured I'd save it for my rant. I'll just say this, I am definitely nervous for the President of the United States. The last time I think that I was nervous, and I shouldn't say that I was nervous, I was 7. But historically, I should say, the last time I think that we were this nervous was when President Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. I remember being, a few months from my 7th birthday when that happened, and I remember it's my earliest memory of the world, of the politics, of that sort of thing. And I think the Pope got shot maybe a few months after that or right around that same time. But anyway, the Secret Service, I'm having some very strong feelings about what's going on with them from the scandal that went on, I believe, in Colombia, where they was partying with, ladies of the night, for lack of a better term. And I mean, come on, fellas. I mean, you're men. You can't get a lady and not lose your damn mind and act crazy and get caught up in some mess. I mean, if you're on duty, you can't drink and you can't get a hooker. I mean, it's really that simple. And then, we've got the breach at the White House where the dude on video runs literally across the entire lawn. He gets up on the porch. You see the Secret Service agent dude standing there confronting him. And then we find out, of course, by the way, the media lied to us and made us think that that's where they got him. But then we find out that he literally ran down the hall, down another hall, literally ran past the stairwell that goes to the residence, to the president and his family before he's finally apprehended. That's a problem. You don't need no more commentary from me than to say that that's a problem. And then lastly, and this is just not lastly, but the last thing I'm going to get to is when he's at the CDC, he's in an elevator with a guy who has a felony record, but he's standing there with a gun in his pocket. The President of the United States. What is going on with that? Especially, we're right around the 1-year anniversary of Miriam Carey, who was the female who was in the car, I believe it was October 3rd, 2013, on Capitol Hill, and the Secret Service, they shot her dead. She's in the car, and yeah, she was acting a damn fool, but, they shot up that car. Whereas this man was able to run across the White House lawn, into the White House, past the the staircase to get to the president's family, and nobody shot him. Now, I'm not advocating killing people, but if there was ever a time for someone to get shot, that is when it's supposed to go down. So let's just keep in mind that our president is going through some serious trying times, some of which have nothing to do with what's going on in the world, with what's going on with his perception in the world. And I think we need to really seriously pay attention to the Secret Service and hope that these folks get it together, because I don't know that we have any other power, as civilians, but, it's scary. It's a scary time for me. I'm not going to rant anymore. I'm going to leave it there. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I want to remind everybody, independence is key to building your legacy. I want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Half stepping with Marcus J. We'll be back right here next week. Peace.